What up, you guys? Welcome to today's lesson. We got a question from Leo Rausch. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but yeah, what up, Leo? He wants to know why his juggling with the balance is not going forward. Okay, and he sent me a video, and I watched the video, and here's some tips for you. And there's also tips for you other people trying to learn it as well. So the trick is this. Leo wants to learn balance and juggling. Okay. So the problem that he had is once he starts to put the juggling on, the balance drops and he cannot catch the club. And in the video that you showed me, the problem is when you're throwing the club, when you're practicing, you're mimicking the balance, then it's good. But when you have the balance on, what your throws are then, they're actually lower. So then you throw blind catches almost. So what you need to do is when you have the balance, is throw higher throws, okay? So you do high throws so you can see the club, okay? So this is the thing. Your vision, because your head is now turned here, you don't see anything from here. I see my hand now, okay? And now it's just vision. Now I see it clearly, okay? First it's just a blur, but you want to see it clearly. You want to see, especially the club, you want to see where it's at and how it's spinning. So you can relate to that. You can correlate. If it spins too slowly, you know to catch it later on. And you can see that if it spins too fast, you can catch it from higher. So you have to make your cascade higher throws. So when you're practicing the trick club, so it's not like this, super low, that you only see a glimpse of the knob or something like this. You need to really see the club. So you have to put your pattern higher, okay? So you really see the club. So if you do a lower throw, you can relate to it, or if you go higher, you can sort of like, you have control. So you have to make your throws higher so they are visible for you. And the other thing, what Leo was doing, he was using a chin balance. I don't recommend that. I recommend the head. I recommend the forehead balance. And the reason is just, well, there's a lot of reasons, but I'm a performer, so that's important to me how things look like. So I think it looks better. This looks a bit silly when it's in here. It's the same as if you're holding a balance on your palm or at the end of your finger. It's the same, almost the same difficulty, but it looks much better than if it's here. If it's here, it doesn't look that good for the public. And also, if you have it on the chin, the balance is blocking your vision, okay? So that's also not a good idea because you cannot see the club as well. You cannot see your pattern as well because you have the club on front of it, on front of your face. So if you put it in the forehead, suddenly, now you can see better. And third is, audience cannot see your face, okay? So if you're like this, you have a stick in front of your face. So again, you don't look that good. So this looks better. It looks harder, it looks better, and there's nothing blocking your vision. And also, I think it's easier because with the chin is so close to the neck. So you have only this limited range of motion compared to the forehead, which is much further away. So you have longer and more wider range of motion. Okay, so those are the reasons why I recommend forehead. But anyway, so what you need to do is you need to make your pattern higher, especially when you throw with the balance. If you throw the one throw, it's not low like this, you need to make it higher so you can see it. So you have to practice your lazies, okay? So you really have control of the clubs, like this, and then you're fine. And it doesn't need to be super high, but just enough so you can clearly see the club. I had someone to point this. Or was it? Come on, think about it. Oh yeah, this is my personal opinion. I don't know if anybody else has this, but in the video you were practicing at your home, or like it looked like a living room or something like this. So for me, when I'm in a low ceiling, it's really hard to do balance tricks. I don't know why. I need to, because the contrast, the distance, if the ceiling is super low and it disrupts me. I don't know why. It's super hard for me. So it's easier to learn it on higher ceiling place, and on outside, balances are very hard for me. I don't know why. But it's just something to try. So if you have a chance sometimes to go to another place that had a high ceiling, just give it a try. If that makes a difference for you. It does for me, so I learned this trick first in a high ceiling place like this. Okay, and a few more tips is you do the, so when you're balancing a club, if you want to do it with a club balance, remember to learn harder balance, okay? So if you want to do it with a club balance, you should be able to balance a spoon, let's say. So you have a big spoon, you want to always make it harder and harder. So if you can balance a spoon and stand still, and then you can try all this waving exercise. You wave on the sides, you wave on the front and back. And if you can do that with a spoon, then the juggling club becomes much, much easier for you. And also you can make it, when you're practicing the balance with the juggling, you can actually make it easier for you than the club first. So you have like a longer stick, or what you can do is you get a peacock feather. So you go to the, some sort of, how do you make all these decorative, like cards and all these small things, your hands, your crafting store, I guess. So you go and you get or a fishing store or something like this. You get a long peacock feather, like one of those feathers that is like the longest you can find, and that is super light and super easy to keep on balance. So it's a good thing to practice with that first. So you practice a harder balance without juggling, and when you do the juggling, first you practice easier balance. So you have a longer stick, lighter stick, and the feather thing, that's the best, okay? Because that's the easiest to have on a balance. That's the easiest to balance with. Man, I'm struggling with my words. Anyways, there's a lot of tips. I hope you can find something that's really helpful for you. I hope everybody gets something out of this who has been struggling with those tricks. There's 2 other videos that I have done. The how to add the head balance to juggling and some tips for it. Watch those as well. I can put a link on below on the description. So, and if you have any more questions, just let me know. And thanks for watching.